sis. Hey, this is your girl, Kristen, checking back in for another week, another episode of Her Steps Are Ordered podcast, sis. Welcome, sis. Welcome. And I have something to tell you, sis. I have something to tell you, sis. If this resonates with your spirit, jump, shout, run around, leap, do whatever you got to do. But I have something to tell you, sis. You've been depositing for so long. You've been making so many deposits. Now's your time for withdrawal. Now's your time for withdrawal, sis. I caught that in my spirit when I felt that, when the Lord spoke that to me a couple weeks ago, when I heard that, sis. It is your time. I want to say it's your time to start making some withdrawals, sis. As the word of God says in Galatians 6:9, and let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. That's a whole word, sis. Galatians 6:9. We shall reap if we faint not. That means that, sis, all the deposits that you've been making, all the fasting, all the praying, all the work that you've been putting in spiritually, all the times that you've been consecrated, that you've been set apart, that you have set apart some time to consecrate, to pray, to commune with God, to fast, to read your word in prayer, to worship God and the fullness thereof, and to separate yourself and just to put yourself in a position. You've set yourself up, sis, to be in a position to be set up for greatness in God. And it is time. It is time. It is time. It is time. So, sis, if this resonates with you, I just want to encourage you right here, right now, sis. There are so many times in life where you make so many deposits. What do I mean by deposits? I mean, you do so many things. You're doing so much for other people. You're sowing. You're pouring. You're doing the will of God for your life. You're in alignment with the will of God for your life, but you have not seen the manifestation of what God has spoken over your life, in your life being sown yet. That does not mean that seed that's been planted in the ground is not growing and taking root, sis. I want to tell you this. This is for whoever needs to hear this. This episode is a little bit different, but I'm just going to speak and minister to you right now, because those of you that don't know, if you're just now tuning in for the first time, or if you didn't know before, I'm also an evangelist. So the Spirit of God has led me to encourage you at this hour to let you know, sis, it's time to withdraw. It is time to start making some withdrawals. And I don't mean withdrawals towards the things that, I don't mean withdrawals like just withdrawing and putting things anywhere. I mean, now you know you've placed your deposit, figuratively speaking, naturally speaking. When you make deposits in a bank account, the money starts to add up, meaning that it starts to increase over time. So when it comes to a certain thing, I don't know what you've been saving up for spiritually. I don't know what you've dealt with. I don't know how long you've been planted. I don't know how long you've been buried. I don't know how long you've had to endure. I don't know how long you've done some things, or you've been seeking the face of God continually. I don't know how long you've been praying for something to break through, or for breakthrough, or for God to come through. I don't know how long that you've been doing and enduring, and not saying anything to anybody, but just keeping your head down, your knees planted on the ground, your face before the Lord. Says it's time to withdraw. As naturally speaking, it's time to withdraw. So when you withdraw that money, you know exactly what to do with it. You were saving up for something. You were making those deposits because you had a plan, because you had a vision in your mind of what to do with it when you finally were able to save up a certain amount. Now it's time to start withdrawing and putting those withdrawals into something more. So I'm here to tell you that it's time to withdraw spiritually. Meaning that you've been sowing. And now it's time to reap the harvest, sis. Now it's time for God to break through some things. Now it's time, because you've endured, because you've been planted, because you've had to go through some things. You had to go through a season of trial. You had to go through a season of tribulation. You had to go through some setbacks. You had to deal with the adversity. You've had to deal with the chatter. You've had to deal with people talking about you. You've had to deal with people not understanding who you are, with people not understanding the moves you make and why you make them. But you were being obedient to God. So now it's your time, sis, to withdraw. God is speaking. God is speaking to his daughters. God is speaking to his people as a whole. But it's time to withdraw. It's time to step up. It's time to set up and step forward, because all those deposits that you've been making, they've set you up for your breakthrough. All that walking in obedience has set you up for your breakthrough. You thought that you were wondering, God, when is it going to be my time? While you watched everybody else be elevated, while you watched everybody else start to make their withdrawal, while you watch everybody else soon seem to reap the harvest, but you've been planting and you've been planting and you've been sowing and you've been sowing. Now is your time to go forth in God like never before. Now is your time to make the withdrawal, because you've been through the endurance. You've been through the season. You've been tried in your faith. You've gone through the things. You've passed the test. You've been processed. Yes, you've been processed. That means that you've gone through some things and your faith has been tested. But now it's time to step out, because you've endured. Your spiritual maturity has increased. Your spiritual maturity has increased to a point of understanding why God does what he does in your life, and not just understanding that, hey, this might be a season that I have to go through. Yes, but what am I learning in this season, and why does God have me going through it right now? Now it's your time to withdraw. Who am I speaking to right now? I pray that this is resonating with your spirit right now, woman of God, because God is trying to ignite something within. All the pain that you've gone through, all the suffering you've been through, it is time to step out and step up, daughter. Daughter of God, God has called you not just for a time as this, but he's called you for greatness. He's called you to do more with your life. He's called you to start making these withdrawals. You've been through the pain. You've been through the hurt in your past. You've done so many things. You've seen a lot of things in your life. You've been making the deposits. You've been dealing with these things for a long time. You've had some moments of wavering in your faith where you didn't see it before you see it. But now God is starting to clear it away. God is starting to take the smoke, the clouds out of your eyes, so that you may see clearly, so that you can hear what his voice and what he is speaking to you in this hour. That he is speaking something to you, that the pain just wasn't for you, but it's to bring somebody else out, that the endurance just wasn't for you, but it was building you up in your face so that you can pull somebody else out, that the pain and the suffering that you had to go through, the things that you had to deal with, the things you had to see, the pain you had to deal with naturally or physically or emotionally, God is bringing you out of it, because you've been patient. You've been patient. You've endured. You've made sacrifices. You still decided to stick with God in the midst of adversity. You still decided to stick with God no matter what you saw naturally. You still decided to stick with God no matter what it felt like. You still decided to stick with God no matter what it looks like to other people, because people won't understand when God is taking you through a wilderness season. You see, sometimes we have to go through the wilderness season to endure. The wilderness season is what builds us. What's being built. When you're in a hidden place, you're being built. So when God brings you out and it's time for you to make your withdrawal, that you will be seen, but it's for his glory. It's not for ours. So I'm encouraging you, sis, to go forth in this hour. I'm encouraging you, sis, do not give up. You will soon reap the harvest. If you don't see it right now, see it before you see it. That's why God gives us a vision. That's what faith is called. It's called seeing something before you see it. See it before you see it. See that thing before you see it. See you coming out before you come out. Be victorious already before you come out. Praise before you come out. Praise before you come out, because you don't have to necessarily praise when the breakthrough happens, but you can shout and you can praise right now, because when you have an understanding that victory is already won and that the victory has already been won on your behalf, because you're a child of God. Therefore, you should know that you should praise him right now in advance, because you are coming out of this thing. You are going to be making some withdrawals soon. You are going to understand that you are the head and not the tail. You are above and not beneath. You are the lender and not the borrower. I pray I'm speaking life into you on this hour, sis. If you are listening to this, if you are under the sound of my voice, just know that you are coming out of this thing. You are coming out of this thing more than victorious. You are coming out of this thing more strengthened. You are coming out of this thing restored. You are coming out of this thing renewed. You are coming out of this thing refreshed. You are coming out of this thing with the right spirit this time. You are coming out of this thing and you're going to do it right this time. You're not going to take the withdrawal and just do whatever you want with it, but you're going to do what God tells you to do with it this time. You're not just going to take your gift and use it for man, but you're going to use it to be glorified unto God. Oh God, who am I speaking to right now, sis? Be encouraged, be encouraged, be encouraged, sis. Continue to trust God. Continue to trust God. I'm telling you right now in this hour, sis, you will soon reap the harvest if you faint not. Don't faint, sis. Don't faint, sis. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel, because you are just at the edge of your breakthrough. God is about to break something. God has already broken some things. You have begun to see the things that are broken. You have begun to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You have begun to see what God is doing in your life. Keep trusting him. Keep standing on his word. Keep walking by faith and not by sight, because you will soon reap the harvest if you faint not. You've been sowing, you've been sowing, you've been sowing. Now it's time to reap. You've been pouring, you've been pouring, you've been pouring. Now it's time to grow. You've been growing, you've been growing, you've been growing. Now it's time to spring forth. It's already taken root, sis. You may have a seed in the ground that's been buried, but that thing is going to sprout up. That thing is sprouting up. That thing, you've been watering that thing. You've been watering that thing consistently. You've been falling in line with the will of God for your life. There's no reason why you're not coming out soon. I'm here. God sent me as a reminder, sis, to tell you, you and another sis that's listening, share this with another sis that needs to hear this encouragement right now, because this is for those who have been sowing. This is for those who have been obedient to the will of God, regardless of what it looks like, even if the season doesn't feel right. Even if the season is uncomfortable, this is for you, sis. I want to encourage you. Continue to keep pressing. Continue to keep going. I love you, sis. Be blessed until next time. Thank you for tuning in to Her Steps Are Ordered podcast. Bye.